Hello, I'm NP. Recently, considering sim racing, we had quite an interesting conversation with the guy called Vollodo. Buddy, sorry if I butchered the name, I'm not sure about the pronunciation, I just try. So, with Vollodo, we discussed a couple of things about the ergonomic side of gaming. Think about fatigue, back pain, playing position, playing session duration, and on the way I realized that my gaming seat, solved a lot of problems that I had before me even realizing. So it deserves a little appreciation and a spotlight. Okay, a couple of words of where I came from. I have always worked in the box, using the computer mainly or only. That means a lot of hours sitting before a computer. Also, since the mid-90s, I have some sort of autoimmune disorder that makes joints very sensitive and painful at times. So, remaining in the same position for a while will give me some pain. Gaming means sitting in a way. Around 20-25 years ago, it wasn't a big problem because of two things. One, around the time I didn't work on big projects. And two, life was more analog back then. There was no such a thing like home office. Traveling took 2 hours per day. So by the time I arrived home, I became so tired that I fall asleep at the end of the day playing a game. But everything changed around 2010. From that point, I started to work with bands as a freelancer. Freedom is very nice, but on the other hand, it means 12, 16, sometimes 20 hours of work per day. This needed only a couple of years to give me constant and very heavy back pain. After a while, I became a sort of zombie. I needed a change. The first thing was that I limited the work hours, or sitting time. The second thing was I started to use a game controller. Despite that things improved, the pain didn't disappear completely. So let's jump a couple of years forward to 2020. I purchased a force feedback wheel and started sim racing. At first, the wheel was attached to my desk. It's fine, you can absolutely do that, but the back pain I had, terrible. After 40 minutes, it felt like as if an ice pick was stabbed into my spine. I still used my office chair, that's otherwise quite okay, in the right straight sitting position for my daily job, keyboard, mouse, that sort of thing. But for holding a wheel, no. So then, around the summer of 2020, one of my sim racing friends, Shubi, who is an awesome sim racer, and he is such a great guy. So he told me that he is about to sell his PlaySeat challenge. It's a folding seat, and he knew that I have to manage a very small space, somewhere around 3 square meters. So I ended up buying his racing seat. After assembling and setting it up, I tested it with Assetto Corsa. It was around the end of a very long day, so I managed to fall asleep. And it kept on happening. Me having a sim racing session and taking a nap. It took quite a while, I guess a couple of weeks, maybe a month, to realize that my approximately 40 minutes of sim racing fatigue limit started to disappear, and also my back pain started to decrease. As for a complete coincidence, this PlaySeat challenge seat kept my spine in a very gentle C position, completely relaxed. My permanent back pain decreased to quite a low level. Apart from sim racing, obviously, I spend a lot of time in my PlaySeat challenge. Since 2020, after daily use, I think it functions just like around day one. It's pretty practical because it takes only seconds to fold it or unfold. I use it for my general gaming with a controller. Also, it's the best place to use a Steam Deck. This console is amazing for what it is, but it has a very strange proportions, at least for me. So after 15 minutes, I became wasted. So outside this seat, it's not very comfortable to play. Also, because my gaming room is the same as my audio production room, when I start to lose it, I tend to take a little nap in the PlaySeat challenge. So, as a sort of conclusion, PlaySeat challenge saved me from an ample of pain. When I realized it, I was absolutely surprised. I didn't suspect anything like that. So it's not only improved my gaming experience, but also my overall conditions by decreasing back pain. And please don't get the wrong conclusion out of my story. It's not like some magic bullet. If you have pain, visit the doctor. I would just say instead that most probably it will put you in a very relaxed position, and maybe it will ease the tension in your back. But who knows? The fact that it reduced my back pain drastically doesn't mean that it will do the same for you. But what do you lose if you try it? I think it's about the price of an entry-level force feedback wheel. It drastically improved my sim racing experience. And if this one doesn't work for you, then maybe others will in the market, with different features, proportions, settings. So my best advice considering sim racing, well, take a seat and pay out. See you somewhere in time.